Hello and welcome everyone. I am Rebecca and thanks for coming to our February monthly meetup for the Flock XR community. And this actually marks our 12th monthly meetup. So we've actually done, after this one, a whole year of monthly meetups for the community. So you watch back on YouTube, you're going to see Flock XR growing over that time, and it's going to look quite cool. I feel like I need to take some time to do that. So this first section is recorded for YouTube, and then we stop recording so that we can have a chat with the community, and you can just ask us anything you like. So be aware that this bit is recorded and it'll be on YouTube a bit later. And I'm going to hand over Tracy for some project highlights.
Well, yes, and you just saw one of those there as you were joining. Hopefully, I love that Pancake project. So that's one that Liz has created for us, because it is Pancake Day today. So I absolutely love that. But I had two others to fit in. So you've seen that one. So Rebecca is back in the classroom. And she shared a montage of colour themes that were inspired by students working with Flock XR. And this was really cool. They'd drawn on colour palettes from movies and current trends. And this is what tends to happen when you put Flock XR in the classroom. And then another example linking to what's happening in the world at the moment is Liz's fab Winter Olympics scene. That she posted on our community Discord channel. So Liz regularly posts fab new projects there. So it's a great place to get some new ideas. Okay, so that was project highlights. And now this is something we've been working on. So new if blocks. So creating if-else statements in block-based languages is kind of complex because the block itself changes when you add new clauses, new else-ifs and else's to the block. And originally in our first pilot, we used the Blockly dynamic if blocks plugin. And we found this had some really positive features, but there were some issues with discoverability and accessibility. And also I've been looking at keyboard controls and screen reader support. And when we looked at this, we thought, well, maybe we need a new approach that addresses these issues. So we've created a new if block with separate else, if and else clauses. And these can easily be copied and pasted to make common program structures. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of a live demo of that new feature. So let's share my screen. Okay, so this little project here is using the new if blocks. So I can move around and you can see the characters being controlled by the new if blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of that code, and then we'll see how we create that. So we start with a forever, and then the new if blocks are in condition, so same as before, but now they look just a little bit different. So we've got an if block there. We need our forward block to say if forward, and then if forward, we will move the player forward, speed of 3, and we'll also switch their animation to walk. So switch animation to walk. Okay, so let's run that and let's see, can we still move forward? We can, but we're going to keep moving forward. So we need a bit more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste, and I'm going to create a copy of that block. And this time we want to go backwards and we want to say -3. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into an else if, and notice it joins there onto the main block. So if I press play, then we can move forward, move backwards now. And again, we can copy that and paste it again. And this time we want an else. We don't need to move the player in this case, and we want to switch back to an idle animation. So let's run that. And now we can go forwards and backwards. And when we're not moving, we're in the else clause of the if statement and the player switches to idle. So you can see those blocks have all joined together. We're able to copy and paste them, and you can only place those blocks in valid positions. So I think this is a good way to go forward with if. So that's what we've been working on. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now and switch back to the presentation.
Yeah, I'm just getting that ready. So that was another one of my tear up moments when, when Tracy showed me that working, because we'd been through a lot of chats about how we get this to work really, really well. And I was like, and I think I drew it in Photoshop, like I got rid of that line just to make it look like it was all one block together. And I was like, you actually did it.
It was one of those situations where we had so many constraints that we needed to meet, but out of those constraints kind of came this new design. So yeah. We're quite positive about what this is going to mean for accessibility for all users, but also particularly for users who need keyboard controls and need screen reader support, which are things we're going to be working on coming soon. Okay, next slide. So, and just a reminder, that is in our development version. So if you're interested in seeing the if blocks or anything else new that we're working on, you can go to flockxr.com and then go to the About menu and choose versions, and you can get to the development version from there. And just keep in mind, this is something we're working on. We're coming up to a new release, but things might change, things might not quite work. But if you're interested in what's coming soon, you can take a look. Right, I'll hand over to Liz.
Thanks, Tracy. I absolutely love the new if block as well, and as a neat segue, it's actually gone down really well with the users that I'm about to tell you about. So a big thank you to Media City Immersive Technologies Innovation Hub, a bit of a mouthful, MITI for short. They funded a project for us to explore FlockXR and how it can be adopted for use in primary school classrooms. So the focus was on year 5 students from 9-10 years old, and it's been an absolutely brilliant project to be involved in. I want to say a massive thank you to Joe Hodge and to Meg Dwyer, who've given us fantastic insights into their Salford primary school classrooms. We've discussed everything from the FlockXR interface to the lesson resources and spatial audio to extended reality, like everything. And it's been really informative process. We can't wait to share the results wider. You're going to see a lot of it in the release that's coming up. And as a follow-on, so Rebecca is currently teaching a year 5 class in Dudley, and Megan is gearing up to launch her year 5 after school club as well in Salford. So we're really looking forward to hearing back from you both about those and how they're going. And yeah, just super exciting times to get involved with the year 5 age group. So I am going to hand to Rebecca now, who's going to wrap up the recording section.
Yep, so here is just a quick update on what's coming up next. So we've got a bit of a reminder. We do keep saying this every time we have a meetup now. So in April, we will be switching over to that updated version of FlockXR, and there's going to be support around that. But when we do that release, the Create with FlockXR button will change to the new version. You will still be able to access the old version, but we all want you using the new version, and there'll be resources and updates and things like that to help you use that straight away. So we're quite excited about that. So alongside of that, we're going to have updated versions for our year 7 resources. So if you've bought those in the past or you've got the starter pack, you're going to get a code to get the new version of those. And then there'll be brand new units. So there'll be a brand new unit for year 5 and year 8. So we've got all of that coming in April. So it's quite exciting. You can imagine we are extremely busy behind the scenes trying to get all of that ready for you. And before we move over to the Q&A, just remind you, as always, of the three ways to stay up to date with all things FlockXR. So we've got a mailing list, we've got a Discord, and you can attend one of our lovely meetups. So you can use those QR codes with your phone if you want to get those links, or it does say underneath. And now, for anyone catching up on this meetup via YouTube, this concludes the recorded part of the session, but why not attend our March session live for the opportunity to stay for the next bit and have a chat with us and with the other educators in our community. And we will add the sign up link in the description below. So thank you for watching.